Welcome back to the Think Bigger Real Estate Show. I'm your host, Justin Stoddard. I am here to help save you time today, help you recognize the value of your time and give you a better way to get your real estate CE credits, those pesky things that sneak up on you so quickly. I've got a solution for you. Before I do that and introduce today's guest, let me remind you that inside of the Think Bigger Real Estate group on Facebook, we take these topics that we're discussing here and many more, and we go deeper on them and let you engage in the conversation so that you're just not a passive listener listening to the show, but you're engaged in the conversation, helping to be transformed, not just entertained and informed. Today's guest, his name is Eric Rodriguez. He runs the only completely free real estate continuing education school in the country. And today, again, we're going to talk about how that can be a real solution for much more than just the convenience of getting CE credits, but really how this can help give you your time back. And Eric Rodriguez, such a pleasure to have you here on the show today. Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, thank you, Justin. I appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. So for those that don't know Eric, he's a former professional baseball player. That's pretty impressive. Real estate investor, right? So you understand the game. And also now kind of run sponsorships, VP of marketing for this really, really cool concept, right? You guys have almost taken like the Google approach of like, let's just give away all of the content for free. Let's not charge membership. Let's not charge anything to the end users, right? And we will pay for that from the sponsors who are putting their information in front of the agents. They're the ones paying the bill, footing the bill, right? And the agents get to come and consume a la carte like Netflix. It's like Netflix for your CE credits where you can choose which ones you want, get your entire license renewed in a very short period of time. Awesome concept, Eric. Thanks for being here again. What led you guys to realize that this was a gap in the marketplace?
Yeah, no, I like the way you put that. You know, the Netflix of it. I've always kind of used the comparison of YouTube, where anyone can post on the platform for free, and the way they generate their revenue is by ad space. So we kind of piggybacked off that model, but our ultimate goal was to work with sponsors and provide them a value add. Let's be honest, everyone in our industry is trying to build relationships with real estate agents in their area. You know, how can I be the preferred loan officer, the preferred title rep, home warranty rep, HVAC, solar rep in your community? Ultimately, that is their end goal. So what we said is how can we bridge that gap? You know, how can we add something of value to the agents and then add something of value to the sponsors? So essentially what happens is, as you put it earlier, we provide all of the content in the courses to the agents 100% for free. And, you know, depending on what state you're in, it could be up to $150, $200 value. And then what they'll do is at the end of each course, sometimes at the beginning of the course, you know, they'll see a 30-second commercial from your local title rep or a local solar rep or loan officer in the area, just introducing themselves. And that's it. You know, it's just trying to bridge that gap and, you know, provide something of value to both sides.
Yeah, I think COVID has given us all this interesting paradigm as to how much time we spent traveling to and fro in order to get value. I'm very familiar, very close to the whole concept of let's give real estate agents value around CE credits. I would watch them like get up, get dressed, come to a CE class, take some kind of morning biscuits and muffins or whatever, and sit through a class that maybe they wanted to be at because they were interested in it, or maybe they just needed the CE credit. But you think about how much time is spent. I'm a firm believer that if real estate agents are doing a great job, they should be paid anywhere between $100 to $300 at minimum per hour if they're properly exercising their license, if they're properly doing the things that they should be doing to actually grow business. So you think about that. It's probably at least a half an hour on either side of that class. Let's call it 2 hours total. And let's be conservative, say $200 per hour. That one CE class costs you an extra $200, right? Plus $400 total because of the time that you spent doing it. What you guys have done is eliminated that to where you access it from your computer, right? And now you're able to offer that to people directly, and they get to choose what classes they want. It's not like, okay, I'm short on CE credits. I guess I'll go to this one. I've been to that class. I don't know how many times. I know everything there is to know about mold, but I'm going to go anyway because I need a CE credit. Now they can go in and look, and you guys have this ever-growing library of CE credits that's going to give them the ability to choose stuff that they actually want to listen to, right? Not just stuff that they have to because they need the credits.
That's correct. Yeah, we've created a menu of courses, so you're not obligated just to take the same course every year. We're always constantly trying to update and add new content as well. We do send out emails, reminders to our signed up agents, letting them know, hey, just a reminder, you may need to take, your annual commission update course or your legal core course. And we always ask them for feedback, because there's no better feedback than the actual agents who's doing the course. We're always actively trying to better our content and build new sponsorships.
I want to put, if you're watching this live and or pre-recorded to the non just audio podcast, actual video, you'll see at the bottom a link that I've got kind of scrolling along here as a ticker, alwaysfreece.com. Of course, if you're listening to the podcast, be sure to go to that website, alwaysfreece.com. Again, gives you the ability to access all of this incredible content, save yourself the time of having to get up and go to a class that maybe you don't want to, and get the stuff that you actually want to get, the stuff that you actually want to know that actually makes your business better. So again, that's the website where you're going to want to go. Eric, what else do you guys see as the value proposition for agents, right? Ultimately, this thing succeeds tremendously as you're now spreading across the country, as more and more agents recognize what I'm saying, which is recognize the value of your time, not just in the getting the to and from the class, but in the cost of a class and the cost of going to the wrong class. It actually isn't going to benefit your business, right? How much is that worth? Are there other kind of value propositions that agents should be aware of that you guys offer?
No, that's a great question, Justin. One thing I do want to highlight before I dive deeper into that is, you have the ability to complete a course from your cell phone. We've had agents who've left us reviews saying, I was getting a pedicure and I completed a CE course at Thrive. I mean, just that overall convenience is a value add in itself. As you put it, having to commute, having to sit somewhere for 3 hours. One really cool thing is we don't have a timestamp. So meaning when you're present for an in-person CE class, you're there, as you mentioned, for 3 hours solid. Whereas with our courses, you can start it, complete a few modules, take a quiz, come back 3 hours later, complete another module. There's no time constraints. Our main goal is to give ultimate convenience back to the agent. But on top of that, we also have a huge library of professional development courses, stuff that might not be CE credit or related to real estate, but extremely valuable. The art of a conversation, the art of when to text message someone, when to follow up with someone, the powers of social media outside of real estate. People think that, if you flood your pipeline or and Facebook of just constant real estate, it can sometimes look spammy. You got to incorporate real life activities, mix in a post of you and your dog, you and the family at the park, whatever, a dinner you ate. It's being able to relate to that next person. And those are different strategies and really cool courses we have in our professional development library that is also free, that we also have available on Thrive.
Very cool. So obviously, yeah, like you mentioned, there's the CE approved classes that are going to give you your credits, but sounds like also a growing library of really valuable insight to just help you run a good business. It's interesting. I have friends that are dentists, and they say, of all the years that I spent going through undergrad and dental school, we had one class that taught me how to run a business. Right. And I think the same oftentimes is true when it comes to real estate, right? Is that you have all these classes on how to properly use your real estate license, but very little to none that actually teach you how to market and grow and manage and lead a business. And obviously that's the niche where I've found, right? Where I delve into that to help real estate agents grow not just a great business, but a great life. Right. And it's fun to hear that you guys have created this library of additional help and support to give people those tools that maybe definitely weren't offered during your real estate license, right? These are things that came after the fact that they're like, oh crap, I just figured if I became a real estate agent and told my friends that everyone would start calling me, and it's not that easy, is it? And especially when you do it wrong, right? Where you've got this nonstop plain commercial of these are the homes that I've sold, as opposed to tell me about your life and you as a person, because that's actually why I'm following you.
Yeah, exactly, Justin. And, that's what I love about what you're offering with your business. You're creating a lifestyle, creating good people. And I think, the better person you are, everything's going to translate from there. You're going to convert a lot more business, if you just better yourself, better your life in general. It's going to pay dividends, not only in real estate, in the gym and health, everything. So that is really important. And that's something that we do want to highlight. And yeah, that's where our professional development comes in. And, that's a great reference you have with dental school and dentists. I mean, let's be honest, the majority of their business is running that business. I mean, maybe they spend a small percentage of actually operating and performing their craft. But they got to manage a staff, taxes, payroll, business, inventory, marketing. I mean, that's something that's not taught, and which is extremely valuable.
Yeah, and there's a whole host of classes that, again, this state deems CE approvable. That doesn't mean that they're not valuable and completely necessary for your business. So fun to hear that you guys have done both, right? You've of course given agents what they need when it comes to getting your CE approvals, and then you've also given them things to help them grow their business, things to help them actually thrive, right? Which is a beautiful name for a real estate education company.
Right.
It's not just survive and keep your license, but to actually thrive and have a great business.
Exactly.
Good stuff, man. I love it. I'm excited for what you guys are doing. I know you're spreading across the country. How many states are you in right now?
15 as of September 1st. Yeah, we started solely in Colorado, and that was our beta run just a couple years ago, and it really took off. Our sponsors just saw the value in it. They just weren't another Joe cold calling an agent saying, "Hey, I'd love to earn your business on your next listing." It was, "Hey, we sponsor a real estate school, as a courtesy of our company to yours. Here's our education link. Would love your feedback." That agent clicks that link, goes there. They're like, "Wow, I'm saving $150 this year, and I'm going to complete every course I need." So once we saw that it hit in Colorado, then we expanded. But now we're just really focusing on states that we get referrals from. And, if someone emails me, which I probably have 5 to 10 new emails from sponsors a week saying, "Hey, are you in this state? We'd love to get involved." Typically I say, "No, we're not in that state yet, but listen, if there's interest in that state, then we're going to expand into that state." And that's kind of how what's attributed to our growth, just feedback from, the country, the audience. And that's how we've scaled.
Man, you said a couple of things that I really kind of want to highlight here. Let's begin by talking about kind of what the value offering is to the sponsors, right? Okay. Again, this is free to the agent, which is awesome. You're selling the ad space. Obviously you're looking for great kind of sponsors, great people that have great value offering. Maybe some of them have even contributed by offering some of the CE credits, right? That you're hosting. And I'm assuming with you guys kind of being a newer player in the arena, that there's kind of an early opportunity here. There's an opportunity for people to get in, realizing that this is going to be a massive place for agents to go and spend time. I love the fact that right now people can get in early and kind of reserve their spot. If I'm a title company, if I'm a lender, I can kind of mark my spot in the state to say, "Hey, look, I'm the company here that people are going to see and hear, and I'm going to get the information from these agents that are completing these certificates."
Yeah, exactly. We actually have a few states on reserve already. We've had huge demand and requests for Arizona and Nevada. Multiple lenders, multiple title companies saying, "Hey, we love what you guys are doing. We have a branch in Denver. They say nothing but good things. We want to reserve Phoenix." So, they give us a deposit, and then we secure it, and we already pre-launch are promoting their title company. And it's been really great. I mean, on top of being the preferred vendor of that state, every sponsor gets a 30-second commercial at the beginning or at the end of each CE course. So for instance, in Oregon, we have 9 courses. If you're a title company in Oregon, you're going to have a 30-second commercial before every course. And at the end of that course, our sponsors get a notification of that agent and what course they completed. One of the requirements for our agents to sign up is to check a box for our terms of agreement. And it's basically saying, the reason why we're able to provide these free CE courses is thanks to our sponsors. So you may be subject to a welcome email or a welcome phone call. You also are subject to a 30-second commercial that you need to watch in order to print out your certificate at the end of the course. And then that's it. Then on top of that, we obviously are launching aggressive email campaigns, social media campaigns, highlighting our sponsors. That's all we focus on is our sponsors. We'll do course highlights just to let agents know, "Hey, in this state, this course needs to be done by this date," as a reminder. But a majority of our campaigns are just advertising our sponsors, because at the end of the day, without our sponsors, we don't have content to provide.
Yeah, boy, that's brilliant. You're taking care of the customers that are actually paid for the service, right? Um, I would make this statement: if you're a title rep or if you're a lender, and you have, I mean, back to the same conversation of what's your time worth. I don't know how many CE classes you've sat through, hoping to have an opportunity to contact agents after the fact, when that content might not have been relevant to you, right? It was relevant to the customer, to your client, the real estate agent, but it probably wasn't relevant necessarily to your business specifically. You were just sitting there doing a little kind of, I'll try to be nice, less than super valuable commercial up front, waiting for an hour to then have the opportunity to say something at the end. And then your team goes to work to put together the CE credits. And what I'm saying is, if you really want to be a valued partner, you can't show up as a solicitor, as a vendor, as someone who's there just to offer CE credits. That's not valuable in today's market. Let technology do that. Let Thrive CE do that. And you go sit in classes that you can come back and meet with the agent and say, let's work on this in your business. And it's not CE credit content, right? It's content that's going to move the needle in their business. So, I mean, I just think it's important for all the vendors out there that are listening to this to say, what's my time worth? Is me sitting through a CE class that I'm not going to get credit for? Is that the best use of my time? Or can I outsource that to Thrive CE, give them the ability to do that part of it that agents need? Agents will get great value from it. Meanwhile, you're spending your time, anytime you meet with the agent, doing stuff that's kind of value add on top of that CE credit, right? I bring up a point in my book, The Upstream Model, about this concept of going from a solicitor and a vendor, which I would say that, these sponsors, if you want to call them that, right? Title companies, lenders, if they're wanting to really get ahead, it's not about showing up as a vendor. In other words, it's not about showing up as I'm your CE provider. It's about showing up as a peer. It's about showing up as somebody who can actually be even a mentor and a leader to their clients. That's where business starts to get easy, is where your clients need you. And they only kind of need you for CE credits. They really need you to help them grow their business. And so I love the fact that what you're doing here, Eric, is that you've taken that opportunity of getting the CE credits and you've made that an outsourced opportunity for all the vendors so that they can step up their game and be peers. So they can step up their game and be, even mentors and leaders to the clients that they desire to serve. And I think it takes that burden off of us, allows us to spend our time becoming valuable in other things, which is awesome and welcome and needed in our industries.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, Justin. And it almost makes me want to eliminate the term vendor because you're right. You're trying to make an impact with this agent that you're providing the CE to, trying to provide value, but ultimately build a long-term relationship. You want that agent to think of you every time they have a listing. Okay, contact Justin, contact Sarah at Belay Mortgage. She's my personal lender in Oregon. You want that relationship, and like you said, more of a mentor peer versus here's just another vendor business card, on your wall. So no, that is a really good point, and I like that.
So I think everybody that's listening to this that really wants to stand out, right, that has gone the path of I'm gonna be waiting at all these CE classes, hoping to network a little bit. I just don't think that puts you in the best position to really help the agent and become a peer and a mentor to them. So again, I love what you're doing. I'm a big fan of what you're doing. I know we're working on some stuff together as well here in the background, Eric. So I'm going to put up here one more time at the bottom of the screen here, always free CE. If anybody here is listening to this that wants either is an agent looking to say, boy, that sounds like a great way to save myself time, pick the classes that I want to go to. And also to the vendor community, calling them that again, great sponsorship opportunities for you to outsource that to somebody else so you can spend your time doing other things. My final question is this, Eric, that I want to ask you. Obviously, you guys are doing some great things, kind of disrupting the real estate CE space around the country. You're a big thinker. I know we share a mastermind group together. What does a guy like you do to continue to be a big thinker, to continue to expand your possibilities and be always growing yourself?
Yeah, you know what? I make it a point every day to try and build 5 new relationships, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, a day. I will personally have a conversation with a complete stranger in the real estate space in a different state, 5 people a day. And I make it a point, and At the end of the day, I mean, it takes me maybe an hour, but it's so worth it because I don't want to be that person who just pops up, in a friend request. I want to be, hey, let's get to know each other. Let me add you on LinkedIn, add me on Facebook. And that's been really valuable for me to scale. And it's just my 5-a-day rule. It's just a personal kind of goal I set. But even bigger thinking, I think we're very like-minded in this sense, Justin, is just your overall body, health, spirituality. I mean, I ride my bike every morning. I get to the gym every morning. I eat healthy. I try and, keep my body fresh and, up to speed because, like I said, it translates into our business. But thinking even bigger, long-term, Thrive wants to be the biggest education platform. Our two biggest competitors right now are probably the CE Shop and McKissick Learning. And what we want to do is, and just jumping ahead a little bit, we're launching our mortgage vertical in January of 2022. And what we'd like to do is offer title CE. We'd like to offer appraising CE. We want to be able to just dive into every vertical. But again, we understand, we got to crawl before we walk. So we're launching real estate first. We've seen the success. Now we're going into the MLO side. And then I think title will be shortly after.
I love it, man. Some big plans for sure, no doubt. And I totally agree with you. I know we've had conversations about this, that when you do business right, it actually gives you time to pursue things other than just business. Obviously, talking to a former professional athlete yourself, that just goes without saying that obviously you've put priority on some things other than just business, which is awesome to hear that you've continued that and continue to take care of yourself at a high level in areas other than just expanding a massive business. So good on you. I want to thank you again for your time, for contributing, for helping build this platform that I think is wildly valuable for the industry, for both those that serve real estate agents as well as for real estate agents themselves. I think it's totally needed, and it's about time. And I look forward to doing some fun stuff together in the future, Eric. And for everybody listening here today, my final request of you are these 3 simple words, and they are: go think bigger. Thank you so much, Eric, for helping us do that today, my friend.
Thank you, Justin. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, my friend.